I am live on YouTube as well. All right, I'm live today on YouTube and Facebook Live. What's going on, folks? No, I haven't been on Facebook Live in a while. I won't point any fingers right now, but I think we're being censored a little bit, so I'll just leave it there. What's going on, Kim Canales? Welcome back to the Gym and Crypto episode 39. I am King, of course. My other host, our other host, Bitcoin Zay, is across the country in North Carolina or DC. I don't know where he's at right now. What's going on, Decentralized? But you know, we're back again, talk all that crypto stuff, bridging the community and crypto. What's going on, Ace Curtis? You said, oh, the lag, is it lagging right now? It'll probably speed up in a second. Give it a quick second. But it's another good day in crypto, people. It's another, what's going on, Bitcoin Vegan? Another great, I don't want to say good, another great day in crypto. It's always a great day in crypto. What's going on, Crypto Q? Another all-time high. We'll talk about that shortly. First, I want to get to the free Bitcoin. We gave out the free Bitcoin for the last few days. It turns out it wasn't you guys' fault. It was my fault. As you know, Bitcoin Zay usually handles all the free Bitcoin giveaway. What's going on, Bitcoin Hippie? Hey, I appreciate it. Bitcoin Zay usually gives out the free Bitcoin and does a ton of other stuff while I don't. So I didn't know that I couldn't send it from one of the exchanges we use. And I kept trying to send it, so it was my fault on the free crypto. What's up, Madam of Crypto? Good afternoon to you. So that was my fault. So we sent all the free Bitcoin to everybody I had the last couple of days. So you all should see that coming in this morning. I think we just sent it about 15, 20 minutes ago. So of course it'll take a little bit of time, but you should have it by now. So that's that. And the winner for yesterday's video for the free Bitcoin. What's going on, Derek? It has been a minute. The winner for yesterday's free Bitcoin was Champ Chamberlain. Bitcoin Zay asked, you know, who's going to be the next actor, government person, who's going to be the next person to come out with the Bitcoin FUD. For those who don't know what I mean, fear and uncertainty. Who's going to be the next person to come out and say something's going to be wrong with Bitcoin, the price is going to drop or is in the bubble. Champ says that he agreed actually with Bitcoin Zay. He said he think it'll be some form of government to report negative news on cryptocurrency to try to stop the progress. And he said mainly because they know the explosion is about to happen and there are people becoming involved that shouldn't be involved in their eyes. Such as some of the rappers. He says on World Star Hip Hop now, it's on World Star Hip Hop now. I didn't even know that. But he was talking about how Floyd Mayweather, DJ Khaled, Nipsey Hussle, Ghostface Killer, all these hip hop community members becoming a part of it. So he's saying in the government eyes, those are the people they don't want to get very wealthy, which I can see as well. So free Bitcoin goes to you, and I'll make sure we get that to you after the video or sometime today, tomorrow, I'll be honest, because like I said, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm going to give Bitcoin Zay that text and see what's up with him. But going with that though, hey, greetings for London double 20. We actually going to try to make it to the UK next year. We have a lot of supporters in the UK. We have some business going on there. What's going on, Jamal J? So one of the things with that comment that he said that's spot on is, I'm not even sure if I have it on here to talk about today. Yeah, I don't even have it on here. So one of the things that's spot on with big governments, you know, we talked about Vietnam and their state bank. I didn't know their state bank is, and you know, and government are linked, but Vietnam, they banned all cryptocurrency as well as Indonesia, and nothing happened to the price. It just kept going up. And, you know, I kind of make the comparison of Vietnam and Indonesia as far as the crypto space is concerned, or some, not even just them, a lot of these other countries that keep trying to ban it and keep trying to spread the FUD around it. They're basically like the bench player that really isn't that good already going on strike. It's like no one notices. They're like, why are you even talking? So going along with that comment, like I said, Indonesia, and Vietnam, you know, they're shooting themselves in the foot, as well as every other country that's going to try to ban crypto or try to ban Bitcoin in general. You know, look at China. They shot themselves in the foot. Everybody went to Japan and South Korea. So this train doesn't stop for anybody, no matter how wealthy they think they are, how powerful they think they are. This is a global currency. It has international influence, and one government, a multitude of governments, all that's going to do is to sell it to go even further, because what's going to happen in Vietnam is the same thing that happened in China. Peer-to-peer trading is about to increase, and then people are going to go to neighboring countries and sell it there or go to the exchanges there. So nothing's going to stop the flow. There's nothing stops money, people. We all know that. Nothing's going to stop a market where people want to be in. So shout out to you, Champ. We'll make sure we get that to you. Oh, in other news, of course, Bitcoin is at another... And boom. All All right, I turned off my Wi-Fi on my phone. I'm not sure why it's working, but the connection should be back. But another all-time high, people. We are seeing this a lot now. I'm loving it. Every day is all-time high, and this is just the beginning. Wait until next year when we literally start seeing that free Bitcoin. But expect to see it again next year once all of this is sorted out. Once we figure out what's the way forward for Bitcoin, expect to start seeing those price increases going up the same way every day next year. I mean, we're going to literally have to have a counter full of champagne bottles for the week every day. Is there really going to be a new class of Bitcoin billionaires? I think there's definitely going to be a new class of Bitcoin billionaires. I mean, there's already a new class of Bitcoin millionaires. I know people who started with not that much money, $10,000, $20,000, and are millionaires now. So it's definitely going to happen. And you know, forget billionaires. We're talking about seeing the world's first trillionaires, people. You know, you talk about people like Tim Draper, the Winklevoss twins, all these people who put millions of dollars into Bitcoin when the price was still low. We're talking about people becoming trillionaires one day. If this trend continues, if Bitcoin will win the war of being the world's financial currency, there will be people, like individuals, who are trillionaires. And that's what governments don't want to see happen. They understand that as well too. So, you know, we're past the point of billionaires. People already became billionaires off it. I mean, I think with Tim Draper, I think in his auction, he got about 48,000 Bitcoin in the auction that the U.S. sold him after the Silk Road thing. And he got it, don't quote me on this, I need to check the price again, but I can't remember. He got it at like anywhere from $300 to like $700 of Bitcoin. So let's say it was $500. He got 48,000 Bitcoin at $500 a piece. Right now we're looking at the price hovering around 7,300. People will become multi-billionaires, and eventually, I mean, way down the line, you know, 30, 40, 50 years, if this continues, we're going to see trillionaires from people. So, and that's when the game's really going to change, because now you're talking about individuals who have the money and the power to begin their own government, to begin their own countries, to build their own armies and navies. And that's when we're really going to see a paradigm shift. So expect to see it. And then one thing people don't think about too, when we're talking about the transition of money coming from dumb money, which is fiat currency, dollars, euros, all that stuff, paper money, going to, yeah, probably better ethics, we hope. But you're talking about paper money. The reason why we're also going to digital currency, what's the one thing people forget about? Space exploration. We have been talking about space for the last, I mean, how many years? Ever since the Cold War, when we started doing the space race with Russia. They're building these space stations out there and trying to put people out there. You know, I remember Richard Branson had a thing where celebrities could fly to outer space for an amount of money. So if all this is going to happen with space one day, and we hope to one day actually have, I won't say colonies yet, but maybe small communities in space stations, which we kind of already do on a microcosm scale. How are they going to use their money? They can't use dollars, no, they can't use fiat currency. They have to use something along the likes of cryptocurrency. That's a digital money that spans that far. So really start thinking into the future, people. I'm telling you, it's so many applications we haven't even explored yet with it. So Bitcoin all-time high. Some sites said it got up to 7,500. Some of the places I was seeing is about 7,450. Regardless, $7,450 or $7,500. We are at another Bitcoin all-time high as of this morning. It looks like it retraced a little bit back to $7,300 about $20. So it came down a little bit. But it's an all-time high again, people. So this is what we're looking for, to keep building that floor. So the next time, which will happen after the SegWit thing, whatever happens, people are going to take profit, all right? And Bitcoin will go down a little bit. But now we're looking at Bitcoin maybe only going down to 6,000 to 5,800, where literally 4 days ago, that floor was still at 5,000 to 5,200. So that is a very good sign. And then Zimbabwe, another all-time high. If you know how to do arbitrage, people, they're trading Bitcoin in Zimbabwe for $12,000 plus. $12,000 plus, people. So use cases is there, and the demand is definitely there. When you have people in another country buying one Bitcoin for $12,000, that is ridiculous. You said they're wasting our money, not clean ocean. You said NASA said. Yep, there we go. Bitcoin is the only thing going to the moon. That's why on the picture this morning I was going like that. We are going up, people. You said, should you sell a part of it and get back in after retracement or hold? Right now, you don't want to sell anything because of the SegWit 2X. You definitely want to get that free Bitcoin. But immediately after that, we're long-term investors, so we're holding. But expect for the alts to possibly pump by then, depending on how it goes. I mean, no one knows what's going to happen, but expect for the alts to pump. That's what I'm bracing for. And if not, oh well, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go. There we go, Derek. Hold. What's going on, Chris? What else is going on? Oh, in addition to the all-time high, that means the global cryptocurrency all-time high has been reached again as well. The market cap is now over $200 billion for all cryptocurrencies. $200 billion. If you saw the interview we did on Loud Labs Radio out here in LA about a month or so ago that we posted, I think at that time the market cap was at 120 billion or something, 140 maybe, and now we're talking about is over 200 billion. I think I saw some articles saying that over $10 billion have been put into the crypto space in the last 24, 48 hours, last week as it happened. So we are moving at an incredibly fast pace right now. And Bitcoin is now accounting for $125 billion market cap of that 200 billion. It's regained its dominance at about 61, 62%. You know, we saw it fall just a little bit here a couple months ago with all these new altcoins coming out and getting money, you know, and surging. But Bitcoin dominance is back, and everyone looks like they are happy. Where should you keep your Bitcoin to make sure you keep? You know, still waiting on that final answer. I think some cold storage wallets like Trezor might be honoring it. I'm pretty sure they are. But as far as the exchanges, we are still doing our due diligence. Like I know Coinbase came out and said they're going to honor it. But you were talking about the same Coinbase that did not honor Bitcoin Cash that just happened August 1st. So I'm not betting on them. Bittrex has been pretty good about honoring it as well. So yeah, some people, Derek said Exodus wallet. So there's plenty. Yeah, I'll write that down. We'll do a video, or we'll put something out so we can make sure you all know. People honoring, yeah. So we'll see about that here soon. But yeah, so good stuff. And in addition with Segwit 2X, you know, I talked about the other day, it was trading on the futures market at $1,200. I think that was about literally 2 days ago I said that. It was trading on the futures market for $1,200. It is now trading on the futures market at $2,000. $2,000 with Segwit. This is good, people. This is great. And expect that to go up more as we get closer. As I said, Segwit 2X, we're not for it. We're no 2X. We're all about Bitcoin Core right now. I think, you know, everything is in its infancy. It's going to take time to grow. But Jeff Garzik, the main developer over at Segwit 2X, who also just launched an ICO, come on. I'm not trusting him with Bitcoin right now. He's doing way too much. But the positive thing about that price rising, the price will continue to rise because institutional investors are trying to pump their money into it. You know, all these businesses and corporations. It's on or about the 16th, November 16th for Segwit 2X. You have to remember it's doing it by the block number. I think the block number is 491,900 and something, 40 something is the block number. So on that block number, which is expected to happen on November 16th, which is why I was telling people, if you're a trader the day before, the day of, and the day after, if you also have a full-time job, you might want to take off work. But anyway, the positive thing about that, the futures price being $2,000 means that once Segwit 2X hits the market, we can sell it and make a ton of money, people. That's what happened with Bitcoin Cash. I think futures had it at about $1,400. Of course, that's what the future price is. That doesn't mean it's going to come out like that. It usually comes out a little bit under that. I would say about anywhere from 60 to 80% under that number. But the good thing is that is what we're eyeballing at. So as far as trading goes, when you log on, you get your 1-for-1 and you're looking to trade. If it's at $400, you know, $500 going up, whatever, leave it alone for, you know, an hour or two. Let's see what happens because the futures price already has it at that $2,000 mark. So definitely pay attention to that. And I'm loving it. I think, you know, at this point, I think the futures price might go up anywhere to $3,000 to $3,500 if Bitcoin keeps pushing, keeps pumping, which is, once again, a good thing because you can dump it and get all of that money right back. What else is going on? Goldman Sachs CEO has said something about Bitcoin. His name was Lloyd Blankfein. You all know I am terrible when it comes to pronouncing people's stuff, so if I say it wrong, let me know. But Lloyd Blankfein, Goldman Sachs CEO, said, in quotes, he said he's read a lot of history, and I know that once upon a time a coin was worth $5 if it had $5 worth of gold in it. He said that, and he was being interviewed by Bloomberg, by the way. Once again, Bloomberg is in the news. They're trying to jump on the crypto train as well. They said, Lloyd Blankfein, CEO of Goldman Sachs, also said, now we have paper that is just backed by fiat. Wow. You have a big banker, big capital assets manager finally coming out saying that money is just backed by paper. He's even saying he doesn't even know what it's backed by anymore. He said maybe in the new world, something gets backed by consensus. Of course, Bitcoin is backed by consensus. So very good news. We talked about before, Wall Street is literally divided now with bankers and CEOs saying that, you know, Bitcoin's way of the future, and other ones saying, you know, it's not, nothing's going to happen. Yeah, I don't think 2X is going to take over either, but he's come out and made his stance. Not that it really matters. You know how we are. We can care less about bankers and institutional people and what they say. But here's what is interesting that you want to key in on. First of all, whether it's Goldman Sachs or Dinosaur Diamond, in-house Dinosaur Diamond, Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase, they're basically sending out bat signals to the rest of Wall Street. If they're talking up Bitcoin, that means they're both in it, people. People don't talk about markets and money they have no interest in. They're not talking about selling Mr. Pinks. You know what I mean? Like, they're not talking about anything random. They're talking about it because they're in it, on it already. So when you do start to see those retracements and those corrections, I'm actually expecting that to be from Wall Street and them selling some of their stuff to get their capital back as well. Hey, keep holding on to alts, people. Don't worry. Keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. It might last for weeks. It might last for months. But at this point, if you try to leave with a loss, I mean, some people are going to be leaving with 60 to 70% losses. So it's almost not worth it unless you're a very good trader where you can come back in and make that money back in a fairly short amount of time. Which, if you're holding alts right now, you're probably not, to be honest, unless that was your game plan to hold to begin with. So just keep holding. Shawanda Battle, what's going on? She said, I recently signed up with Kraken. What do you think about exchange? And what do I think about Litecoin? Well, I'll tell you for Kraken, you said yours is down 66%. Hey, it happens, people. That's why the hardest thing to do is hold. The hardest thing to do is actually to hold. People don't understand that. So Kraken, real quick, I'll answer Shawanda on Facebook. Kraken is it is a pretty good exchange. However, it's not for people who are just starting. So I'm not sure if you just started with Bitcoin in general or Kraken. But regardless, Kraken is a little bit more difficult to use. However, the margin trading, you can go up 5 times on the margin. I've done it before on there. I think you can do it like, I don't think Ripple can go 5 times. I think Ripple can go 3. But it is definitely, I like it. It's a good exchange. Like I said, it's a little bit difficult to use, but you can go margin 5 times. So I like that about it. And Litecoin, hold it for now. Just if you have it already, hold it. It's hard to tell what's going to be what until after Segwit 2X. Somebody asked about best offline storage. I have a Trezor. I like Trezors. Or you can just put it on a piece of paper, print it out. They say you're not supposed to, but you can laminate it. And to be ironic, put it inside a bank safe. Another thing with the Segwit 2X thing I want you all to understand as well, though. Even though, you know, these forks, whatever, they're not necessarily bad for Bitcoin, all right? They're actually good because it's showing the resiliency of it. It's showing how strong it is. It's showing that it can defeat any adversary that comes at it. And I know we've been talking about the next big thing that's going to hit Bitcoin, the next big enemy. This is looking like this is going to be it. You know, we've been talking about it for weeks now. Ever since August 1st, we said there's going to be one more big attempt to really try to take down Bitcoin. And honestly, Segwit 2X is looking like more and more like that big attempt. And it makes sense. It comes in November, middle of November. I already told you the regulatory environment is going to slow down during that time as well because of Thanksgiving or the holiday seasons. So this very well may be that big battle we've been expected to face. We'll see soon. You know, in 2 weeks we'll see. But if this is the big battle, I'm feeling a lot better because, again, you know, they have the businesses trying to say things. Some miners are saying things from different pools. But at the end of the day, it is about the users. You know, we're a part of that consensus as well, people. I mean, individually, no, but a lot of us together are. So it's going to be about users and what they're going to decide to buy and what they're going to decide to sell. And from the network I have right now, everyone's looking to just cash in on the Segwit 2X. I don't even want to call it Segwit, on the 2X coin. So we'll see. What percentage is your portfolio of Bitcoin, alts, and USD? It changes. It literally changes. It changes with information we get. So I'll say that. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here. We all right. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so Shawana, you say you started 3 weeks ago. Then yeah, Kraken. If you're starting on Kraken, I mean it's a good exchange, but it might take a little bit to get to learn really. So I would almost say try it with Coinbase or Bittrex just to get familiar for a week or two, and then kind of switch over. But what I was gonna say was, the good thing with the 2x, with it being the 1-for-1 Bitcoin, this is our opportunity to audit centralized exchanges, people. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. We don't know how much money centralized exchanges have, and I know for a fact some of them have been using what's it called, like fractional banking, fractional reserves, where basically all the money they're supposed to have and stored for everybody who's trading on there that can pull out anytime, they're not as liquid as we think. A lot of them aren't, and it's not illegal since we're in this gray environment right now. However, in the traditional system, that's what banks use, and that's how they get away with murder. But when we have 2x come out and that 1-for-1 happens and people are cashing in, we're going to see which exchanges honor it and which exchanges don't. And I'm telling you, the ones that don't honor it or the ones that it's not paying out immediately, that means something is going on with their exchange. They don't have the money. So keep an eye out for that. Once those 2x coins get released, if any exchanges are slow to release them or give you your money or anything like that, that is the exchange we cannot trust. So you definitely need to pay attention to that. What else is going on? Oh my goodness, another big hack. Another huge hack. Phone data of almost every Malaysian goes on sale for 1 Bitcoin. It says a major security hack has seen the phone records of almost every Malaysian go on sale for just 1 Bitcoin. And what Reuters describes as one of the largest data breaches in Asia, hackers gained access to 46 million customer identity details, which included lists of mobile numbers, identification card numbers, home addresses, and SIM card data. And of course, they knew about it for a month. We're just finding out, but having known about it since last month, Malaysia's government is now in the process of identifying several likely sources as part of a full inquiry. All right, here's the thing. I can tell you the likely source already. It's wherever company or whatever government entity they hacked. I guarantee they probably used the admin password as always. But once again, this just goes back to why do we have these centralized databases? It makes no sense. We have the blockchain now. And with this hack, I expect to see, I mean, who knows, because it is Malaysia. It's not the biggest market, but 46 million is a lot. But it just shows another use case for things like Civic Key. I'm not even trying to shill it. But right now they are one of the front runners for the technology to have the identification security set up already. So I will be looking at Civic Key and its pricing the next couple of days. Even today, once this article really hits mainstream, or once this news hits mainstream, look at Civic Key to see what happens with the price, because that's what they're there for. And this is another hacking incident of enormous proportions. So look out for that. In addition with the hacking of what did they? I don't know if it was a company or the government in general, but in addition with the hacking of all the phone numbers, Civic Key is basically, that's Vinny Lingram's. I know he's been saying crazy things on Twitter, but Vinny Lingram, South African Shark Tank entrepreneur, investor, creator, all that. He invented Civic Key, which is basically an identity protection service. Whereas you can log on to different sites, like if you do a discus comment, or if you try to log on to some sites, you can log on through Facebook or maybe your Google email and all this other stuff. Well, Civic Key is basically an identity platform. Oh, my phone's right here. I'm using it. I was about to show you my phone. But it's an identity platform where everything is secure, blockchain, technology, all that is behind it, where no one knows your personal details unless you give them access to it. So everything that you use to log on, you can store it there, Social Security, whatever. You can store it on this. It's encrypted, all that good stuff. It can't be hacked, supposed to be unhackable or invulnerable, excuse me. And then once you log on to different sites, say you want to go into your banking site, you can just use that now to get on instead of using, third-party Facebook or whoever else you use. Of course, you wouldn't use that for banking, but you get the idea. But with the hacking, a new thing was not new. 2 new ones just came out that I kind of mentioned this for the last few weeks. I've been saying it. but fake apps and fake websites, like cloned apps and cloned websites. Well, it turns out, and this is according to a Russian news media resource, RBC, some antivirus researchers discovered 2 apps which don't officially exist. The apps are like a Poloniex app, so they're not real, but they are in the Google Play Store. And basically, you download it. It's a fake Poloniex app, and it has everybody enter their customer or their identification details to log on, and they just steal it and log on and take all your Bitcoin. And it looks like so far, I think it says 5,000 people have already downloaded it, and yeah, it's out there. So good thing though is we now have these cybersecurity researchers in the space, and they're starting to spot these things early and put them out in the news. The bad thing is that this is happening. I told you before, just to reiterate, the hackers, the scammers, the criminals, the sophistication they have it was never been seen before, people. It is, they are literally building networks to hack into people. They're cloning websites, and they're, like I said, they're doing the SEO stuff on it, and they're making it go to the top of Google search engine, for hours before it's caught. Entire websites, they're cloning them. Same thing with the app. They're now cloning different, like they just did Poloniex. They're cloning websites, and they're putting in the Google Play stores. They're putting in app stores, and they're having people download it thinking they're a real thing. Another reason why you need to have that 2-factor authentication on, so that if you do accidentally put in all those customer details, not knowing that it's a scammer or a hacker, then at least you still have the 2FA at the back end to try to protect yourself. Again, I did a cybersecurity article on that. I consulted my cybersecurity advisor. He gave me a lot of good tidbits to put in there. That's on my website, as well as Medium, kingbless.com. So you can check that out as well. Here, let me go over to the live YouTube video so I can see some of you guys' comments. I see them coming up. I want to make sure I answer a few of the questions. Today's a short day. There's not a lot of news. Bitcoin's booming, so all the naysayers, they can keep saying what they want, but clearly they are guessing wrong right now. But again, I think it's only because I think they're just trying to drive the price down, people, as always. It's always about money. All right, I'm going to this live video so I can see these comments. Nexus. I am not familiarized enough to really talk on Nexus, so I'm going to leave that alone right now. Woo! Bradley, you say you're 95% into alts? So I would never go, I'll say this. I won't say, yeah, I will say never. I'll probably never ever go all the way into alts. So I get the question now when you guys are asking how much do we hold. Again, it varies, but we try to keep at least anywhere from 25 to 50, 60% of our crypto into Bitcoin. As a hedge. You always want that as a hedge, because those bloody Mondays that we do have and we do get, where those alts are just dying off randomly, you want to have that Bitcoin so you won't go crazy and and lose all my money. But the thing to remember is, people, a lot of people are just entering the crypto game the last few months, and they're seeing, they came in when alts some of them were at the all-time highs. What you're seeing right now, this is a correlation that we've seen for years now with altcoins and Bitcoin. It's inverse. Whenever Bitcoin's really pumping, altcoins usually go down. Now in March to June, when they both were going up, that was abnormal. It was like the first time it ever happened, people. So people were getting euphoric. Of course, that brought in more, newcomers into the space, which is a good thing, that mainstream adoption. But people were like, well, everybody's getting 200%, 300% and all that. Fueled by ICOs, exactly. Fueled by ICOs, you're right. That was one of the main causes as well, because you had to buy Ethereum or whatever, and then to get some of these smaller tokens and coins. But this is not normally, like what we're seeing right now is normally what happens with altcoins. Whenever Bitcoin's pumping, the altcoins go down. So keep this experience in the back of your head. But all hope's not lost, because eventually the alts will go back up. So for people like Bradley, who have 95% of alts, they will go back up. You will see these 200, 300% increases again. You just have to hold tight and wait, unfortunately. So yeah. Lord of our Aerosol said decentralized exchange is the future. I agree. Yep. Also going to come back quickly. Chinese altcoin exchange that moved Japan could also bring more alt trading to Japanese investors. Yes, that is also true. Let's see. You said, why is it no moon yet? We're getting close to the moon, Ivan. Let's see. Just looking through the last few comments, people. Big tracks. Right. Yep. So that's what we do too. So I saw somebody say the returns on altcoins are higher than Bitcoins. They are. And that's how you get more Bitcoin, people. You trade alts, you get those high returns and go up. And again, you know, for those who are stuck in alts or who are looking to still, right now, alts are still winning, people. You just really need to know what you're doing. And I can tell you a lot of it, just from me and how I trade, a lot of it, I've said the last few days, actually, a lot of it is in TA. You know, I utilize TA, I utilize other people's TA. I get a aggregate amount of it, and then I look at all the information and see what the best move is for what we're doing. You said we might start seeing Bitcoin alts pumping at the same time more often. After SegWit, I think we'll see it. I think we'll see it, both of them pump after SegWit at the same time. But what I was gonna say is there's still a lot of big winners in alts, people. I'm seeing it every day. You know, some coins are going up 100-some%. The thing is, they're all being pumped. Not all of them, but majority of them are being pumped. So my best advice is to find some of the sources of that information where they're pumping it at. Once again, an aggregate amount, not just one source, and you can base your decisions off that. So, for example, what I do, I have about 20 or 30 different groups I'm in, which takes up half my day just trying to read everybody's stuff to keep up. But, you know, some are pumping stuff, some are actually doing TA, everybody's doing something different. But when you start seeing that trend, okay, I saw like 5 of my main people I know talking about this one coin. And not just that, you have to be up on information. I put it on our Facebook today, at Kirby Crypto. The CEO of 10X, the doctor, I forgot his name, Dr. something, but he spoke at NOAA 17. That's a conference that's happening over in Europe, I believe, right now. He spoke, and then Visa spoke after him. And these are things you have to watch, people. You know, I think he came on today at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the United States. I got a link from somebody. I got on a link on YouTube, and literally there's like only 80 or 90 people on it. It's like, if you look at 10X today, 10X pumped. And I think also a few days, 2 days ago, somebody came on. I didn't say anything when I saw it, but somebody came and said buy pay. And they were right. They said 48 hours ago. But 10X pumped, I think I saw it about 18% before I stopped looking at it today. But you have to be up on this information. Like, and that's the thing about trading. If you're really going to be committed to trading, it is a full-time job. You have to know this information unless you're just going to hold. But 10X, he came out. He only spoke for 10 minutes. The founder did. He basically kind of tell people what it was and stuff. You know, he had a new group of investors and all that stuff in there. Visa came out. What Visa said was very impressive, though. I'm starting to like Visa even more. They admitted that, you know, their centralized way of doing things is a thing of the past. They are now, like, their whole game plan moving forward right now is to cater. They want to know what businesses are doing and how they can cater. Where it used to be, we're Visa, this is the way we do business, you're going to do it just like us. You know, everything's stuck in this box of how they do business. You're going to do it just like us, you're going to be left out. Now, one of their representatives came out today at the same conference, NOAA 17. Again, that link's on our Facebook. And he came out and said, no, he was like, we're not going to do things as we've been doing them. That is the wrong way. And moving forward, this is what we're doing. We want to hear from all of you, businesses, users, customers. We want to know what you're looking for, and we'll make it work. That is the right approach. I think once banks, if they ever adopt that approach, more people be prone to like them a little bit more, but they're not right now. But that is the approach to go with. And last comment I'm going to do right now before I get on out here. Chris said, any recommendation as to which site I should use to farm, and what would you say is a solid starting investment? See, once again, we gotta talk offline about the farming, because it all depends on how much money you're starting with, what's your timeline behind it. Because, for example, I know another guy who wants to farm as well. Who, for those who don't know, that's like mining for different coins. But he's starting off with, I think, almost $1 million and already a warehouse full of servers. So what he expects and what his return and his timeline is going to be totally different from the individual or the small group investors who say, hey, we just have this house farm here or whatever. So, okay, good stuff. I'll check it out then for sure. Would I recommend buying fractions of Bitcoin? Right now, that is tricky, people. If you want to be a long-term holder, then you can always buy Bitcoin. If you're looking to make some quick money, you might want to wait for the retracement, for the correction. But the thing is, if Bitcoin really destroys 2x here in a couple of weeks, there might not be a big correction. There'll be a small one because, like I said, people will sell profit. People will sell for profit, but there might not be a big one. So just watch out for that. Long time holder, then it's never too late to buy. It's never too late to buy. All right, so that's it for today for the free Bitcoin people. Stake coins, staking. I've been looking more into staking as well. It does take a lot of money to put up to get a really good return back. But staking, I like staking. I know a couple guys who do staking and they are making a killing. So staking is something else to look at, Chris, not just mining. Staking could be lower maintenance and just as much money. Of course, it comes with a lot of risk, though. That's the only thing behind it. But like I said, we'll talk offline on that. All right, for the free Bitcoin today, we're going to do the same thing I did last week. Price predictions for next week. Next Friday, what is the price going to be of Bitcoin and why? Give us your answer, of course, on our YouTube after I turn this off and you go to the comment section. In quotes, put what you think the price of Bitcoin will be next Friday, and then and why. And put your public address down. I'll make sure my end is working right to send you that free Bitcoin. You can visit us for, I just asked, where do you talk offline? You can visit us our site at Kirby Crypto, KRBECRYPTO. We do consultations and advising. That's what we do most of the day as well. However, of course, we do have to charge for that. We got to keep the lights on somehow, people. But we try to be fair with it. So you can check us out there if you do want that in-depth consultation, 30 minutes to an hour, or however long you want or how often you want. Thanks for watching, people. You can follow us again at Kirby Crypto, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that we still haven't updated, even though I said I was. I have pictures too, finally. When Bitcoin Zay gets back sometime late next week, we'll start doing it. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, people. You all take care. Make sure you like and share the video so we can get more people in this crypto space. Try to make this bad boy go mainstream. I'm trying to go out and buy dinner with Bitcoin, people, all right? I'm trying to go to the club and spend my Bitcoin, all right? I don't want to just spend it on my VPN all the time. I want to spend it on different things. We need to get more people involved. Take care and have a happy Friday and a great weekend, people.